A lone man clad in the flowing robes and intricate patterns of an Abbasid caliphate stares dumbfounded at a small glowing rectangle in his hand. The year is 2024, and this traveler from the past has just woken up in the middle of Times Square, completely alone and utterly confused. And what confuses him the most is that strange glowing box. What this man doesn't know is that he is Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi, one of the greatest mathematicians and astronomers of all time. And this box is the reason why he will forever be known as the father of algebra. Let's find out how.
Ho, ho, ho!
Welcome back to my channel, where we bring you stories of incredible people and places from Islamic history. This is a special episode where we are going to be taking a trip through time and space as we follow Muhammad al-Khwarizmi through New York City. It'll be a fascinating journey through space and time, full of excitement and discovery, so stick around till the end to see where his journey takes him. The year is 813 ED and the place is Baghdad, capital of the mighty Abbasid Caliphate and center of the Islamic Golden Age.
Ho, ho, ho!
A period of cultural, economic, and scientific flourishing in Muslim history lasting from the 8th to the 14th century. In this age of enlightenment, Muslim scholars made groundbreaking advancements in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, philosophy, and more, laying the foundation for many scientific fields we know today. And at the heart of this revolution stood the House of Wisdom, also known as Dar al-Hikmah, a renowned intellectual center where scholars from all over the known world gathered to translate, discuss, and build upon ancient Greek, Indian, and Persian texts.
Ho, ho, ho!
Among them was Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi, born in 780 AD in the Central Asian region of Khwarizm, then part of the Abbasid Caliphate. By the age of 17, he had already mastered the sciences and arts of his time, and was summoned by the Caliph himself to join the House of Wisdom. There he spent years translating and studying various subjects before delving into the most challenging texts in mathematics and astronomy. Soon enough, he became the head of the House of Wisdom.
Ho, ho, ho!
A position he held until his death in 833. During his tenure, he published several groundbreaking works that changed the course of human history. His first major work was the Kitab al-Mutasar fi Hisab al-Jabr al-Muqabala, which in English translates to the Compendium Book on Calculation by Completion and Balancing, but is more popularly known as the Compendium Book on Algebra. This book revolutionized mathematics by introducing a systematic method for solving linear and quadratic equations using geometric arguments and balancing techniques.
Ho, ho, ho!
Before al-Khwarizmi's work, mathematicians mainly dealt with equations empirically or geometrically, often struggling to solve anything more complex than simple arithmetic problems. But al-Khwarizmi changed everything. He introduced the idea of an algorithm, a step-by-step procedure for solving problems that could be applied to any similar situation. His approach not only provided solutions to previously intractable problems, but it also paved the way for future mathematical discoveries and laid the groundwork for the development of algebra as a distinct branch of mathematics.
Ho, ho, ho!
But al-Khwarizmi's contributions didn't stop there. He went on to author several other influential texts, including the Kitab al-Sirat al-Art, translated as the Image of the Earth, a correction to Ptolemy's Almagest, which contained a wealth of astronomical data and calculations based on observations made by Muslim astronomers. Al-Khwarizmi's version included a corrected table of latitudes and a discussion of the solar eclipse.
Ho, ho, ho!
He also wrote the Kitab al-Mutasar fi Hisab al-Art, which introduced the Hindu-Arabic numeral system to the West, replacing the cumbersome Roman numerals with a much simpler and efficient system that we still use today. This book played a pivotal role in the dissemination of knowledge about Indian mathematics and its influence on medieval European mathematics. Al-Khwarizmi's impact was so profound that his name became synonymous with the very subject he helped to shape.
Ho, ho, ho!
The word algebra itself is derived from the Arabic algebra, which means the reunion of broken parts, a reference to one of the steps in his method for solving quadratic equations. In fact, the word algorithm used in computer science is derived from the Latin translation of his name, al-Khwarizmi. Even the word zero, which was unknown in European mathematics before his work, entered the English language via Arabic and Hebrew, ultimately tracing back to India, where the concept originated.
Ho, ho, ho!
So the next time you use a smartphone, send an email or search for something on Google, take a moment to appreciate the legacy of the man who made all these things possible. As we shift from the 9th century to the 21st, we want to explore how the world might look through al-Khwarizmi's eyes when he suddenly finds himself in the middle of New York City. The sheer scale of the city, the towering skyscrapers, the bustling streets, and the bright lights would be a stark contrast to the landscape of 9th century Baghdad.
Ho, ho, ho!
The noise and chaos of the city might initially overwhelm him, but as a scholar, he would likely be fascinated by the modern technology that surrounds him. Things like smartphones, laptops, tablets, and wireless internet access would be particularly intriguing to him as they relate to his work in mathematics and astronomy. For example, he might be interested in how algorithms are used in computer programming to solve complex problems. In fact, the word algorithm itself comes from the Latin translation of his name, al-Khwarizmi.
Ho, ho, ho!
He might also be fascinated by how GPS technology works, which relies on complex mathematical calculations to determine location and provide directions. And of course, the internet would be a particularly interesting tool for a scholar like al-Khwarizmi, as it provides access to vast stores of knowledge and information from around the world. Imagine his surprise when he discovers an online encyclopedia that contains information on almost any topic he can think of. But as a Muslim traveler, he might also be looking for places of worship and community.
Ho, ho, ho!
The presence of mosques in cities like New York would be reassuring to him and provide a sense of familiarity in a strange new environment. Overall, al-Khwarizmi's experience in the modern world would be a mixture of fascination and culture shock. While he would likely be intrigued by the technological advancements and cultural diversity of the 21st century, he might also feel a sense of loss for the simplicity and tradition of his own time.
Ho, ho, ho!
Nonetheless, it would be an enlightening experience for both him and for us, as we get to see the world through the eyes of a great Muslim scholar and see how his contributions have shaped our modern world. RLD. The year is 2045, and the place is New York City. Muhammad al-Khwarizmi is sitting in a quiet cafe sipping a cup of coffee and watching the busy street outside. He's been in the United States for several months now and has grown accustomed to the hustle and bustle of modern life.
Ho, ho, ho!
He's marveling at the technological advancements that surround him, from the smartphones in people's hands to the self-driving cars on the road. But it's the seemingly mundane objects that have truly captured his attention. He picks up his coffee cup and examines it closely. The way it keeps his drink hot, the way the steam condenses on its surface, the way the ceramic feels in his hands. Everything about this simple object is a source of wonder to him, each detail a reminder of the advancements made over the centuries since his own time.
Ho, ho, ho!
He remembers the days when scholars in Baghdad would gather in the House of Wisdom discussing the mysteries of the universe and trying to understand the world around them. He thinks about how his own work on algebra and astronomy helped pave the way for many of the technological advancements that are now commonplace. But it's not just the technology that's impressed him. It's the people he's met along the way. He's spoken with engineers and programmers who tell him about their work developing artificial intelligence, self-driving cars, and virtual reality.
Ho, ho, ho!
He's talked with historians and educators who are passionate about sharing the stories of the past and inspiring the next generation of innovators. And he sat with fellow coffee drinkers, students, entrepreneurs, and dreamers, each with their own story to tell and their own hopes for the future. As the sun sets and the cafe begins to empty, al-Khwarizmi closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. He may be thousands of miles away from home, but he feels a sense of belonging here, a feeling that he is part of something bigger than himself.
Ho, ho, ho!
He knows that his work has had a lasting impact on the world, and that his legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. He may be a traveler from the past, but he is also a citizen of the world, and his contributions have helped make all of this possible. And that's the end of our journey through time and space with Muhammad al-Khwarizmi. We hope you enjoyed this special episode that takes a unique look at the life and legacy of one of the greatest Muslim scientists of all time. If you did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to like and share it with your friends and family.
Ho, ho, ho!
And if you haven't already, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all of our latest content. Thank you for joining us on this journey through space and time, and we'll see you next time on our channel.
Ho, ho, ho!